Hi, I'm Judith, and I am a new ambassador doing a comeback because I've been in Plexus 5 years. And so I want to share today my testimony of how um, do I stay healthy and do life because I'm 64. So I started this journey of wanting to get healthy actually for years, way back, because I always kind of like ground my flour, baked my bread for 30 years, and so did a lot of those kind of things. If my kids were going to eat sugar, it was going to be sugar that I knew because I put it into the cookies, or I often use sucanat, if you know what that is, because it metabolizes slower. But what I've been finding out over the last few years, and especially, well, gradually, I did gain weight because I always made this joke that if I ever gain weight, it would be because I'm eating bread. So I can't remember what it was, about 8 years ago, I had hives for a month, twice. And the only way I could get out of that was to like fast. And my husband didn't like that because I'm not overly heavy. So that just shows you don't have to be heavy in order to be unhealthy. You don't have to be heavy to need to lose weight. But I had gained 25 pounds. It kind of snuck on somewhere. So 8 years ago, through hives and through getting some other kind of whatever, I started to lose weight. And by the time I started Plexus about 5 years ago, I joined for my husband. I joined to help him lose weight. And then I found out how much I needed to, I had about 7 pounds I needed to knock off. And even with Plexus, it's been a yo-yo because in order to make Plexus successful, you have to like get a hold of your gut problems, your gut issues, and your cravings, and you can sabotage Plexus, let me tell you. And so a few months ago, I don't know, it's been since middle of January to February, I was with my mom, and I was with her for a month every single day because she was in her last month of her life. And during that time, I spent all my eating time at Panera Bread, and it was freezing cold, even though it wasn't in Pennsylvania, it was in Delaware. And so I was freezing cold, so of course I ate the bread, right? And so I came back 7 pounds heavier. And that's when somewhere I was on Plexus the whole time, but somewhere after that, I was not on Plexus for about a month or two. And then come along the summer, and we live in the country, in the woods, and I walk my dog lots of times a day. And in a week's period of time, I found 6 ticks on me. One was in my head and actually embedded. And so I was scared that I had Lyme's disease. And so meanwhile, I'm waking up with headaches and just this flu-y type of feeling. And I was scheduled for a special Lyme's test by this lady, and she wasn't a doctor. I don't know what she was, but she died. And she was supposed to be very healthy and wonderful. So I went to the doctor, but I know the blood tests that doctors do, it's not always accurate. And I can't tell you why. I don't know all that. And the test that this woman was going to do showed the paracletes and all these things that I don't know lots about Lyme's yet. But meanwhile, I watched Shoshana Easling's video. And she talked about how Plexus Slim in the products will help the brain, and how the paracletes in the brain and whatever. And so I very quickly made sure I got back on Plexus and Slim and the Triplex especially. And I am especially on the Triplex and I can't think because I'm doing a video. I'm on the 4 things, okay? I'm on forget it. And so within just days, that headachy feeling I had left. And I'm telling you, I had migraines growing up since I was 5 years old, and I had terrible problems with migraines. And I I've not had any migraines or any headache, even that month-long headache that I always had typically for years, where it was like if I bent over, I'd go into a migraine. I didn't have that on Plexus at all. And I wish that this had been around because I had terrible periods. And yes, that's over. But if it had only been around back then, I had terrible problems with PMS and all that. So to make a long story short, all that is gone. And I can't tell you how much somebody needs this that is thin, because yes, I've lost weight. I from when I was with my mom in January, I've knocked off 7 to 10 pounds. It fluctuates, and it's been wonderful. And why does someone need this? That, because I work out every day for 30 to 45 minutes. I intermittent fast most days, and it's just because I found out that's what I naturally did anyway, so it's supposed to be something, so I'm doing it. And it's not Plexus that you need to do that for. All I'm saying is that I'm healthy. But why do I still need it? It's because the food out there is full of all these things now. The farming isn't good. And so Plexus helps with that, because we're not getting the nutrients in our food. And so that I need something that's going to up my immune system. I hardly get sick, and I've been, except for about a month, I have been on Plexus for almost 5 years, and it is rare when I get sick. My immune system is so good. I don't have, I used to have like major problems with my sinuses. I don't have that anymore. I don't get headaches. I don't get sinus issues. I don't get sore throats ever. Oh, I was just at the doctor, and although he tried to tell me my cholesterol was high, the combined cholesterol is not high. It's under what we're supposed to have. And he looked in my mouth, because he's supposed to do that on a physical, and he's like, "When did you have your tonsils out?" And I said, "I never had my tonsils out." And he said, "Yes, you did." And I said, "No, they almost took them out when I was 11, and then I didn't get tonsillitis for until I was in college." And he said, "You don't," and then I had problems with it for years. He goes, "You don't have any tonsils. They've totally atrophied." And so, that I know tonsils has a lot to do with your immune system. That's a concern when you have them out, that it messes with your immune system. So I don't want to make this any longer, and this is pretty amateur. I don't do real good videos, so that it wasn't planned out too well. I didn't follow the notes I was supposed to follow, and I just hope this blesses you in some way and helps you with your own journey, and with the journey of people that you know, that even if they think they don't need it, they probably do, because it will up their immune system and help them to be healthier, and help those little minor things that are going on, because it improves your gut, so that now I might eat ice cream. I share it with my husband. One Ben & Jerry's, we eat half of it each. We take turns taking spoonfuls. But I don't drink iced tea anymore, and stuff like that. That really helps, because you get your sugar down, you get healthier, and Plexus, the hunger control, which is my favorite, helps me do that. But the triplex is so important. So that's all. Bye.